Hi everybody, it's Chris here from the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. Just to let you know, as always, this podcast is now part of the 90-Minute Football Network and proudly sponsored by www.pt-4-u.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the Gallowgateshots YouTube channel. No football this weekend. Well, no football for Newcastle last weekend, sorry. So we're just going to have another Eddie Howe loving, I think, boys. I think it's about time we just continue this.
I can't get enough of it, so I'm well up for that.
Yeah. So, as always, I'm joined by Mr. Mark Walker.
Afternoon,
Decker
evening,
Pedry,
morning.
and Stephen Best.
All those times. It's all those times.
Bestie, I'm going to come straight to you because you've had a little jaunt, haven't you?
I had a trip.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He's only just got back.
So, do you want to tell everybody where you've been?
Well, before I come here, I'll quickly pop Morrison's.
Well, apart from...
That's why I'm late.
Anything nice?
No, but I purchased a bottle of Coke, a can of Northern Monk Twist Edition.
Is that alcohol? Is it?
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's a mango pale ale. I like a fruity pale ale.
Yeah.
And
Elvis juice you like as well, don't you?
I do enjoy the Elvis juice, like I.
Every time you have an Elvis juice, mate, somebody comments in about that drink.
Really?
Yeah. Praises it.
It's quite ironic, since
Nice.
he doesn't like Elvis, isn't it?
I like juice a lot, though.
Have you seen these cans I've got? Then
I've just seen these. I saw them. Yeah, where they're
They're not our cans, but I think they look like
Always Smiling Faces podcast fans.
Yeah. They were from Aldi. And I got them because I thought they looked like our logo.
It does look a bit like the logo. It also looks a little bit festive, like the star above the.
So if Aldi want to sponsor us and send us lots of
Freedom
lager,
Lager, is that called?
Freedom Lager, yes.
because Red Stripe didn't get the memo, did they?
And I'm still waiting. I'm really hoping they've got that Christmas special again, like last year, because that was I was unbeatable.
I live in hope.
So, Bestie,
yes,
tell about your trip.
Well, the curb was a little bit like no, it's just a joke, listeners. I went down to London last Thursday. I think I flew down because you vote Labour, but you live Tory. So I flew down on the Thursday. I've got a mate that lives down there, so I had a few with him. His brother lives in the city centre, so stopped there. Had a lovely. I've never met him before, so
you stay at a stranger's house, like Jesus.
Oh, not just at a stranger's house, but on Saturday morning, my mate had gone to the races, so it was just me and my mate's brother and his partner, his fella. So they made us brekkie. We had a couple of cups of coffee. We kind of shot the breeze. They're both from up here, but they lived at like a work down there now, so. Oh, a lot of common ground there.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't, because I seen you were in the airport and I seen you had your bag and that, and I thought, I thought you were going abroad. Do you know
I
what
thought you were going to stag or something.
Yeah.
What were you doing in the airport?
No, I sent a photo.
I put a photo.
Yeah, that was great.
But I went and saw Suede on Thursday night.
Oh, is that who it was?
Which for younger viewers, they were the best new band of 1992, according to Melody Maker.
Very good.
Which was a magazine in the 90s. I think it's gone now, the Melody Maker.
I think it has, yeah.
And then had a trip to Wembley another trip on Friday night to watch England beat Albania. I didn't go to watch England beat Albania. I want to watch England play against Albania. But it was really, I've never been to an England game before.
Are you not?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to one at St James's 95, but I was England under 23s.
We played Turkey at the Stadium of Light. I remember that one.
No, I've never been.
We played at St James's.
We played at St James's as well.
Played a few. Played Albania there, like 2004 maybe, and but no, I never availed myself of the opportunity at times. So we knew we were going to be down there for a few days last week. So I thought, I didn't. One of the lads says, "We'll go to the game." So did. And it's so weird watching England because it's a team that I want to win, and like I'm like an England fan, not as much as Newcastle, obviously, but I'm an England fan. But like the atmosphere was rubbish. There was a kid that sitting next to us who was really performative in everything he did. So like every misplaced pass was like, I can't believe what I'm like suddenly, but I'm like, I can't believe what I'm watching. It's a disgrace for Harry Maguire. I think, well, mate, we're winning 4-0.
Yeah.
And like, just chill out.
I've noticed that when I've been in here, the atmosphere is terrible because there's not many songs, is there? The passion's not, I mean, it is.
It depends if the band's there, I suppose.
Yeah, I think sometimes it depends.
Yeah, but they do that chant that Geordie's.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
But like there was,
I singing 3 lines.
I mean, I was literally in a very, very back row.
I know it's you on the moon, weren't you? You're on the moon. The pitch, I couldn't believe it.
Maybe I wasn't quite in amongst the kind of ultras. But then half time went for a pint, and they were doing the German Bomber song, and I thought, I could do without that. Like, that's not my cup. But loads of kids singing "Don't Take Me Home" and that. Like,
you home?
Yeah,
they might not want to go to school.
I don't understand that. How am I going to sit here and drink?
We're on the holidays. They've gone to the big city.
Well, that was what I was doing, but I'm like nearly 40, so I can't really pull that. But yeah, it was weird. The atmosphere was just bizarre. I thought. I enjoyed the game, and I enjoyed the experience of being at Wembley for an England match and all that. And being from up here, we don't really get the opportunity that often to go and do that. I know, like Tom, who's away in San Marino, like Tom Concannon does. He does
a embassy, so not embassy.
He's not embassy. Well, hang on a second. What are you insinuating?
FSA, any?
Yeah, it's the one.
Yeah, well, I know Charlie. I've got Newcastle fans who, like, who do the whole England home and away thing, and
expensive hobby that.
Oh God, I don't know how to do it. I can't even do Newcastle. I can't do Newcastle home every week, every second week. For time and
price of the Metro, mate. That's
family stuff, and I'll get a pop card.
Must be single lads. Most of them. Not all of them.
I don't know, but either way, the one they were 5-0 up in half time.
6-0 now.
My mate who I went with, bless him, I've seen him. He's from up here, Lee, but he lives in London and back. He splits his time. I've seen 2 England games with him, one in the pub in Borough Market against Panama in the World Cup, and this one last week. So I've seen, when I've been with Lee, I've watched England score 11 goals. I think he's seen 4 of them. He missed 2 texting the other night, missed Harry Kane's overhead kicks, he's gone for a poo. And then the one in Borough Market, he's just under the bar all the time. So he's best me. He's seen about 35% of the goals I've seen with him. Just through his.
Still a decent return.
Not bad. Reminds us of, Dean Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I used to go to the game. I didn't go with his granddad, but his granddad sat next to us because I shared a ticket, like around the Ashley a few times. And it was the 96-97 season. And whenever Dean's granddad, Harry, who's long gone now, bless him, rest in peace, Harry, whenever he went to the toilet or went to the bar, Newcastle would score. So we used to kind of encourage him. How Harry? Shite this guy out of the way downstairs, mate. And sure enough, whenever he did, I think that's as much a reason as anything else as to why we'll finish second that season. It's Harry Ford.
Pissing.
Yeah.
How's your week been, Mark?
This week or last week?
I've seen you quite a bit this week.
It's only Monday, so it's...
Well, last week.
It hasn't gone very... Last week was decent. Quite a busy week, didn't it?
We did. Yeah, I've seen you quite a bit.
Every other day, practically.
The show which we done on last Wednesday has gone down a treat.
Yeah, really enjoyed that.
The phone-in that we did. So hopefully we'll have another one this Wednesday where you guys get a ring and have a chat with us. So hopefully we'll make that one happen.
I can't do a Wednesday ever, so if you can change the day sometimes, that'd be nice.
I almost certainly can't either.
Because you're a radio host these days.
Of sorts, yes. Yeah. I started doing a comedian.
Like cut a few songs up, but
just only Big River. And I'm going to play that again.
Only Big River.
No, it is. I was sweating all the way. I was nervous anyway, but I was most nervous thing. Like I had like a 20-second bit of dead air towards the end because I was trying to fiddle things around to get Big River to play in the full, and I thought, right, I've got it cracked here. And then something happened. There was like a minute gone out at the end. I thought, how have I done that? So I'm going to play it again tomorrow.
It's not like you to get sidetracked, is it? By something.
Yeah. Totally out of character. I'm not too sure what could have happened there. Like,
doing well,
proper laps, but yes, I enjoyed it. Radio Shields, tune in Tuesday night.
Yeah, so Bessie has a radio show from 8 till 10.
8 till 10
on Radio Shields.
Yes,
it went down very well on NUFC Twitter.
It did.
The other night,
yeah, people were very generous. More to do with the fact I've got impeccable taste in music than actually being able to present the thing, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. So people who are watching, sorry to those that are just listening to audio back over, people that are watching, you would have noticed we've got something at the front of the desk. So we have a Castor ball signed by the current Newcastle United playing squad. Decker's going to give you a little bit more information in relation to this because it's all for a good cause. Decker, I know you're a little bit nervous for this one, mate.
I don't know why, but I really am. Yeah.
Decker will explain what it's all about.
I think it's because it's so important to you, isn't it?
That's
probably what it is.
Take it away, mate.
So, yes, for those that didn't see my Twitter account over the weekend, I posted a video in regards to my wife's uncle, Uncle Fraser, my Uncle Fraser. Tragically and sadly, almost a year to the day, Fraser had a stroke. And you'll see on that video, if you go back and watch it now, you'll see some of the great work that an organisation called Motion Rehab. Sorry, apologise, I am that nervous. Motion Rehab have been doing some amazing work with Fraser in doing the best that they can to get his standard of living back up to what we all want it to be. So if you take a look at that, that would be much appreciated. So Fraser obviously had the stroke. It would have been on the 30th of November, it will be a year. And unfortunately, Fraser got taken to hospital and had 2 life-saving operations. Thankfully, them surgeries were successful, which, of course, a great thing. But I'm sure everyone, all you on the table, and everyone will know that coming back from a stroke can be really tough. And the road's a long one and a hard one. And we're on that road together with Fraser now, and we're trying to give him all the support that we can. Now, obviously, when he came home, one of the kind of sort of the thoughts was like, will he ever make a full recovery, and what will he stand and live and be like? And Deb's being the way that she is. Hi, Debs, if you're watching, by the way. The fighter that she is and wanting to do the very best that Debs can do. She did a lot of research, a lot of speaking to other people for advice and what can be done. And one of the things that sort of stuck was this place called Motion Rehab. And Fraser's coming towards the end now of his first sort of stint there. It's 80 hours worth of treatment. And he's coming towards the end of that. And the progress that he's made has been unbelievable. And on that video that I've mentioned there, if you see it, you'll see all the machinery that they've got, the facilities itself, and the great work that them do with Fraser. What we are trying to do is to try and raise money for him to get another round of treatment, or certainly support the funding of that, because I'm sure you can imagine, as good as the sort of the physio is, it's so expensive to do. So we are trying our best as a family to raise money. And that brings us to what's in the middle of the table. A family friend, Lee Gray, if you're watching, legend. He was at the Newcastle United Foundation evening, which was last week, and he won that ball. And instead of keeping it, he decided to donate it to the family and to myself, so we could do something with it to help Fraser for his treatment. So that brings us to you guys that are watching. We are deciding we're going to raffle the ball off. So what we would love, it's £5 a number. Obviously, you can enter as many times as you wish. So £5 for one number, £10 for two, £15 for three, etc., etc. We will do the draw live on 2 weeks' time on this show. It'll be some kind of random number generator. This gentleman here will hopefully sort that for me. And we'll do the draw on the show. And if you live close enough, I'll even deliver it to say thank you very much for donating.
That's going to get extra ticket sales, no doubt.
Oh, probably no one will buy them now. Yes, so what I'm going to do is I'll put the link in the... I'm going to put it in the chat now, actually. I'm then going to put it in the description of the video, and you'll see me sharing it an awful lot on social media and things like that. But anyone that can donate as little as they can, that would be amazing. Like, it means so much to my family and to Fraser himself to really get him back on that road to recovery. And thank you very much. And thanks for those that have already donated. There's quite a few people have, which has been amazing. Thanks very much for everyone that's been sharing it already and liking the post. It really goes so far. So thank you very much for your time, and that's it.
Can I just check, is there a limit on the amount of numbers that are being sold, or is it just up until you get to that date? That's the best thing about it.
Yeah, we're just going to go until it ends. So let's hope for 2,000 numbers then, because that means we're so low. Do you know what I mean? So fingers crossed we'll get and I would also say about the ball, it has no Sports Direct logos on, so that's always a positive. And it's the 2021 squad as well. So
it's got you can see all the scribbles on it, all the autographs are on there, and I can spot a few.
Yeah, so like I said, we will be doing the live draw on the 29th.
I think it is.
Month, I think it is.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing it on here. We'll figure out a way to get it on screen, so those that have bought a number, you will see it displayed live as to who wins it. And like you said, if you're local, Deck will deliver it.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, why not?
I might buy a number. It means you come around my house.
Yeah. So, but thank you very much. It'll be really.
I look at us with a serious message, but a very worthwhile cause.
Well, you see, that's how I got so nervous for it, because I talk rubbish all the time. But when it comes to something that really means something to us, I got so nervous. So, thank you for that.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. Good looking ball. I mean,
it is a smart ball. That's actually
lovely, isn't it?
It's nice with it being all white like that. You can really see the signatures on it.
Yeah.
And stuff.
So,
small.
like Deck said, we will be. Deck, I'll put the description in the links in the comments now. So Deck, I'll do that straight away. We'll put it in the description to the video as well if you want to go back. It will be on the audio, so if you're listening to the audio as well, just pop over our YouTube channel, see what the ball's all about. We'll put it on the social media accounts, to be fair. I think there's already a picture on there on the actual link itself. Yeah. But yes, we will be putting more information out from all of our private Twitter accounts, as well as the Gallowgateshots and the Always Smiling Faces podcast accounts. Boys, shall we start talking about Eddie Howe? So, Eddie Howe decided to take the players to St. James's Park, Mark.
He did, yeah. Training on Saturday morning, wasn't it?
When was the last time you saw that? A manager take for a training session? That wasn't the Daft Open Day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We've done it like for like pre-season friendlies and open days and stuff like that as a bit of a a media PR stunt, but
Quite often, like, released shirts that day and stuff, haven't they? And that's
Yeah.
been not the unveiling, but yeah, the first time it's been worn by the team.
I guess it was to, because I seen the under 23s were there as well, so I'm imagining they had a full scale 11v11 out on the pitch so that they could actually, get used to the size of the pitch and work on some of the defensive strategies and attacking strategies, hopefully, and go from there. But it's unusual to see that. Mate, we should be used to seeing unusual training strategies with Eddie Howe, because there's been a lot of that since he's been introduced.
Any training strategies?
That's it.
Yeah. So over the last week, social media, it's been crazy that how excited we've been getting as a fan base, Bestie, over Eddie Howe, our head coach, telling the player to not stand still.
I know it seems a little bit like it's just strange, isn't it? Like that should be a direction that professional football needs to be given. Don't stand still. Like
I'm with you there. Like
it's just bizarre.
it doesn't make any sense.
Was it? He said there's too many people standing still or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
was kind of
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. You get taught in school like to move about and to kind of create space, and it's just madness that's something that, and that's on his first day. I think his first couple of days that he's hang on.
Was his first training?
I stood here doing bugger all.
Tuesday, wasn't it?
There was a video like we've all seen that photo, like this dog with his hands on his knees, blowing out his Shelby, and there's one of Joe Linton leaning on one of the. And I mean, something that I will say is that we never really got to see that I'm aware of. Maybe it didn't happen, but we didn't ever see kind of Bruce taking training in that way. So, and I don't think we ever heard him get not mic'd up, but
we never saw the videos. We never really. You saw obviously the photos.
So is there that much unusual in what he's doing, or is it just because the club have gone since the takeover, since Howe came in, they've gone such a PR offensive that we are now getting to see the stuff that was happening anyway? I don't know, but it wasn't stuff like kind of running around asking for the ball and taking it. And someone shared the photo of Keegan doing the like sprinting down. It was like, it's just like obviously it's a bit early for the Eddie Howe and Keegan comparisons just yet.
But I think the point
it's
in
the
a sense,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's the involvement in training, isn't it? And I think a lot. I do agree with what you're saying, and I think. In a sense, I would say with Bruce, I've seen Bruce sort of, he's always on the training pitch, in fairness, the photos I've seen, but there's always somebody else supervising. Does that make sense? And obviously he's just kind of standing there chatting away and with other people, whereas Bruce is never going to sprint for you unless it's FIFA, but he's never going to actually do a sprint, is he?
Was Bruce head coach or was he manager?
Head coach.
Bruce you said coach as well.
He was head coach, yeah. So, and I mean, he couldn't coach anything. He could coach a kebab shop, maybe.
The thing is, though, we're seeing this, but Rafa wasn't really massively involved with the likes of the training. He always stood to the side and let his coaches do that. Caps and shorts.
No, he was always there pointing and directing and stuff. Wasn't
same as Bruce though. Like I'm not comparing the two of them, but I'm saying we can't obviously overly praise Eddie Howe because he's involved in training. Then like slag Bruce off for not doing that when Rafa was very similar, where he used to stand on the sidelines and let his coaches do that. Of course, Rafa, obviously you saw Rafa taking the training. Did you?
I didn't see him. I was there in his office. I didn't see him take training.
So I saw Rafa do a training session.
Taylor,
he would just easily go in and stop the training and then change it around a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, obviously, if Bruce would have done the same. But either way, Bruce is gone. And guess who else has gone, Decker? The Steves.
Oh, the Steves. Yeah, finally.
Steve Harper must still be here, though.
Yeah, he is on.
Yeah.
And they brought in Steve.
I'm not even...
Another Steve
he's not good enough. No offence, but...
Harper.
Nah, I'm going to be really honest. I think if you went any top 5, 6, 7 team, would they have Steve Harper as coach? I'm not so sure.
Will he not have gone back over to the 23s now?
He's under 23. Yeah. His stats are in Football Manager. I'll keep them on. Mate.
Well, anyway, you'd probably start him ahead of Darlow, to be fair. But no, I think that's just another thing. We don't need their influence on coaching or anything. Honestly, we don't, because we've seen what their influence has done. And we need to get, Howe needs his own, which he's got now, of course, I understand this, is that he's got his own guys in with their ideas. And there's a whole new freshness to the approach. The PR from the guys running the social media has been bang on that they are. It's every little clip that the fan would want to see been seen, and they've done very well there.
I bumped into one of them on Friday night.
What? The corner?
The cone?
No,
not a cone.
No, one of the guys that do this.
One of the guys that's involved with the club social media and things like that.
Was I there?
You were upstairs in Cozy Joe's at this point.
We probably got now did with Mark was there, didn't we?
But I'll not say who it is, but I had a discussion and
I remember this.
So basically saying that it's like a weight lifted off their shoulders as well, with the ownership changing, and that they've basically got free reign to do what they want on the social media accounts and the likes of the Newcastle YouTube channel as well. So yeah, hopefully we might have some more involvement.
Can you remember after they finished 5th and they had a pre-season thing where they went, like, I think they were in kayaking or something like that?
Yes,
and you've got Demba Bar singing the Colacini song and all that. And that was like, that felt like kind of what it should have been like. That's 10 years ago now, nearly. And now it feels a little bit like, because you kind of got to know the players a bit, obviously not on a personal level, but you got to see what the characters were like and kind of how they interacted in training and stuff. And I'd like to see more of that, please.
Mm-hmm. I liked it when obviously it was during lockdown, but they were doing the interviews with a lot of the players, weren't they? That was nice to get that little bit of inside information from what people are like behind the scenes and what goes on in the dressing rooms and on the training pitch. It's always nice to hear that side of things.
Florian Lejeun's murder tips.
I know that you've just mentioned this.
Shares come down with me.
Forgot about that, yeah.
It was a program thing rather than the YouTube or
about hiding a body or something like that. Like, where would you hide a body or something like that?
That was the question of the program, wasn't it? All the time
it was.
It was like, no, question 10 was like, where would you hide a dead body?
Yeah, I've heard that.
Very strange.
Fucking hell, better not do that these days.
Very strange.
That's why they sold it.
Right. Maybe, yeah. I think you mentioned at the start, I do apologise, I was answering the question there, but about training in the stadium, was that some point someone
made
there?
Yeah.
That was the first point you made?
Yeah.
Do you not think that's a good idea, though, like to work on the things you want to work on, the pitch you'll be playing on? I know people just say, well, a pitch is a pitch, right? But like, I don't know, I feel that's quite a good idea.
It's different sizes and stuff, isn't it?
Plus, I wasn't a 6-foot bank. I mean, obviously, it's, I don't know, I just feel
you
like...
do see a lot in international football where the likes of the team will go and train in the World Cup and that'll go to the ground where they're playing. Has it not happened before for likes of, I might be completely lying, but like cup finals and things like that, where they've had a day like,
I think European away games quite often happen as well.
Yeah.
You see it.
The reason they don't do it more often is obviously because they want to look after the pitch. They don't want to get torn up. We all know, like, to be fair, it's been a lot better in recent years, but how bad our winters have been, and the pitch always takes a bit of a hiding. But the fact that we always have the daylight lights on the pitch, like literally every night and stuff like that, the grounds staff are working constantly on the pitch. I've definitely seen a big improvement in the standard of that in the last few seasons.
It feels like it. I remember when when they first built the corners up in St James's, the pitch was dreadful for like in the late 90s, for winter time towards the end of the season was really, really like boggy and rubbish.
It was a drainage issue, wasn't it?
I think lower field, that was a fashion joke.
You are right there though, because I remember obviously when Cooper used to be working for the club.
Yeah.
I used to.
I love how you can see his name now.
I can't remember.
I used to see his name.
He's left.
Left just before the takeover.
Yeah. He left on not great terms either.
His own,
allegedly.
So anyway, I agree with you. When you watch pictures of Shearer scoring and stuff like that, and that pitch, man, sometimes it's
horrible,
rotten. And I remember I used to go even in the Robson era, which it is ages ago, but to me still seems quite recent. Horrific in the winter. Whereas now, when you were going in like February, March time, it was as it was the first day of the season. The pitch was just that damn good, and I think you were seeing things like 85% of the pitch is artificial now, and that's why it lasts so well and all that type of stuff. But it is a beautiful pitch now.
Speaking of pitches, I'm not sure if you've seen this. I'm completely going off topic of Newcastle United, but you've seen I think it's a Bernabeu. I'm sure that the reinvesting the pitch folds up and it goes into layers under the ground.
Yes, it is a Bernabeu.
Bernabeu, and like it cuts in like segments, and it goes. It's really weird. It's got air conditioning on the ground. No, Spurs
as well
goes
with the
like
it comes
in,
out, and
but mate, this cuts in like segments.
It goes like fifths or quarters,
like
sixths
on top of each other, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, it stacks.
It stacks under the ground.
It goes underground, but take to one side of the pitch, and then you can get like
there's an artificial one that comes out on top of it. It's weird.
But as it stacks, it shows you it's a CGI thing.
Yeah.
And it shows you that kind of cross section. They've got the lamps on it and stuff, and it's getting maintained. Like it looks just like it's being taken care of as well as it would be had it been outdoors. But then it's mad because that's getting done now, isn't it? The stadium's getting
yeah.
So Keegan Burrows actually says there's an exact replica of the Wembley pitch at St George's Park. So basically,
at the England
like for like, so
Academy,
like of angles and degrees and also that similar like the St James's Park. It's out of the shop. That makes sense. It does. Most of them. I tell you what, I went on the stadium tour with school ages ago to the Stadium of Light, but their pitch is horrendous. They've got a massive curve in the middle of their pitch. So if you go down one side and try and look across to the other side of the field, you can't see it.
I remember
if you're in the paddocks.
I remember
Looking
standing
across,
in the first few games of the promotion 92-93 season. Like whenever I'd stand down the front, my dad would say I stand down the front, and you couldn't see the touchline on the east stand because it had that curve in the middle of it.
Across to the east stand benches, little benches in the porta cabin boxes.
When I very first started going, that's where I sat. The east stand
I think in regards to our slope so much, I think it was the sponsor boards when I very first noticed it.
You really tell.
Whereas the left hand side, it's half the sponsor board's covered, and then by the other end, it's the full sponsor board and more. And I was like, whoa, like, and it's mental to think that a Premier League.
It makes you wonder why they don't.
Just sort it out.
Because it's been the same for like it's known for it, it's renowned for it, like not just recently, but like
just put an extra bit of dirt on.
Well, it's funny.
Get some aggregate.
It's so that it gives us some sort of psychological advantage.
But not when they turn around in the first half, it doesn't know. So, like, no, I understand kicking towards the Gallowgate and all that. I get what that's trying to.
Darrell has put in the
kicking downhill.
Darrell's put in the comments as well. That Stadium Light also has that corner where all the rubbish and shite gathers and goes around in a circle.
I've never
what's that?
A football stadium
what's that film? American
got Greg's and
Chris Patterson stuff.
It's ridiculous.
And it sounds like an easy kind of something,
like
but it's really, really horrible.
Yeah. If we were Newcastle fans, and if you're a neutral fan watching a Sunderland game, and you see that, it's like a tornado of shit, just like in that one corner. It looks absolutely ridiculous. Yeah.
Remember that game when the ice cream van got blown onto the pitch and then scored that goal?
Very niche that, mate. I bet loads of people haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
For the beach ball, I mean, that was Liverpool fans, wasn't it? But
that backfired, like, but
that did backfire. There's been a lot of comments in regards to the current training facilities at Newcastle United. It's something which Amanda Stevie said that yes, they're all looking at reinvesting into that, upgrading the facilities.
Yeah, we chatted about that on
Wednesday. I think you
Thursday. I
think we spoke about it. But Bessie, I'll come to you, mate. Obviously, I can't imagine them keeping the training ground in that area, so Benton, because obviously the houses around it and the likes of, I think Darrell said there's a public path.
There's a bridle path down one side and then the train line opposite that. Yeah. That wraps around the
where
bottom.
would you like to see the training ground go?
God,
don't say like in your back garden or something.
No, I mean, where it location wise, it's all right. I quite like where it is. I don't know the north or the really anywhere apart from the city centre, Newcastle, that well, to be honest with you. So, sound like right tourist side, isn't it? Aye. Where would I like to see it? It's hard because I mean you've got a massive expansive land on the town moor, and you've got but that's nice land. That's kind of like I like the fact that we've got cows grazing in the city centre. I like when I was in there quite a bit with the burn earlier in the year. Like I used to make a point of driving up that way, so I'll go past it. There's cows. It's great. This like literally a 10-minute walk from St. James. There's lots of cows.
So you've got literally at the top of Leazer's Park. You've got that little bit there, and then you've got opposites. Yeah.
So I don't really know. I mean, obviously the city centre is so built up.
Yeah, you've got to look outside.
Yeah, looking north of that. I mean, I suppose it's the city. The ground is pretty much at the north edge of the city centre, isn't it? Really. I honestly don't know. I think if can we keep it where it is, I like it.
It's got to go west, really, doesn't it?
I'm not sure who it was. It might be an actual Darrell that mentioned this, but the academy, the other side. So if you go off Coach Lane, the land there is ridiculous amount of land that they've got. So I'm not sure if they may look at keeping it there, but obviously change the entrance to that side, to the Coach Lane one.
It's quite appropriately named as well.
Then move.
That's where the academy size, isn't it?
Yeah. And move the academy elsewhere. That's potentially what they could do, but it means flattening one building and building another one on top of it.
I mean, a strong lick of wind will knock the tree and build over anyway, to be honest with you.
Probably, mate.
I'd seen some people saying that maybe, I don't know, like that they would keep what's there now and maybe perhaps have the women's team maybe perhaps play there, or I don't know, maybe young lads playing there type of thing, and then obviously create a new one for more like under 23s and first team. I don't know what's your thoughts on that.
There's already quite a lot. I mean, around there you've got Blue Flames, you've got I think Team Northumbria play around that way as well.
Opposite the academy, Coach Lane, you've got all Northumbria buildings, so uni. So that side.
But you think? I mean, I think at Sunderland where they moved out to the academy in Clevedon about more than 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Well, it was
wild. Now, I mean, it's a bit of a joke that's. I mean, people say, "Oh, we've got like our training facilities that like League One standard." And there's knock spots off ours. It wouldn't be the best one in League One, even.
It's ridiculous how close it is to the stadium as well when you think about it.
Yeah,
it's 2-minute drive up the road.
I'd drive past the windmill.
Full Mill. Oh yeah, you're there. So
to go to the driving range, I've got to go past it because I go to the driving range up there, American Golf, and I go
Do you
past
always
it.
stick your fingers up when you go past it?
Like
I
Ali
do.
G, you know, Ali G.
Like habit. Always do it.
But I
in
do,
fact, let's just put Newcastle's there. Just buy it off them.
I do drive past and go, God, it's really nice that. Like it is,
It is, and
especially
it's-
for League One. Great.
Yeah,
I mean, I
obviously,
appreciate it was built when Premier League, and I do understand that. But like when you drive past it, there is a sense of like, it probably, as you said, knocks spots off ours. Which
Just because it's new in it, they've spent money on it to build a purpose,
I've done well.
you know, built area
Team
for them to
haven't
train in and to have those facilities. So that's what we need to do. And when you now, but even when if you compare that to some of the things that you see now, the likes of Leicester, who's just had a new one, and
Palace are just put a video out,
Palace is literally what, a couple of weeks old now. Like when you look at that and then compare that to Sunderland's, it's night and day from that. So it's just it's an evolution over time, isn't it? And
I think a lot of the problem that they've had, Sunderland, is that similar to us in that they've kind of, well, not similar to us in that the money hasn't been spent. They couldn't really spend it because of the situation they found themselves in. We could have done, but we had Mike Ashley in charge. So
yeah,
but I think that's theirs is maybe a little bit. I mean, compare Leicester and Palaces and Everton. I suppose are they even getting the new one? Everton, it's a new stadium they're getting.
new stadium, they're getting down
See,
on.
I looked at like Villas. I remember Jack Grealish got interviewed. It was when he was the real start becoming the hot topic, and he got interviewed. And it was like an old-fashioned PE, like school, like more. I'm not kidding. And I was like, that can't be their training ground, and it was very, very dated. So I know we and rightfully we look at. I mean, Leicester's is the one obviously that jumps out at us because we know how nice it looks, certainly by the images and that. And everyone just looks at that as if that's the goal type of thing. And Spurs is unreal, to be fair. And the documentary shows you that just how beautiful that is, and that, I understand that. But there is a lot of shit out there. Do you know what I mean? And we're one of the shit. And I totally understand that over time and that they'll want to change that. And you hope and don't, you'll be amazing, won't you? If you see plans just drop on Twitter, actual official plans, not someone that's making them up. But
I can see it happening. Like
Oh,
they have to.
100%.
They have to
gotta
do
happen.
it. And whether that's
Well, the plans are already there. Let's remember the plans are already there.
what happens if we got relegated? Would that change immediately, or do you think they'll just carry on with
Nah,
them?
I think
with that would carry on because that relegation wouldn't affect what they could spend on that.
Yeah, because Ashley did say that. Ashley was like, "Oh, well, we'll stop that because we got relegated."
Yeah.
But he's making excuses, of course. Whereas I agree. I
I
agree
think with what who we've got, I hope at least with who we've got in charge now, that even if they did go down, and there is a really real chance that that'll happen. That would say, but it's not. It doesn't. You haven't got to agree. Like the cost of the materials doesn't go up with relegations, whereas like the cost of football has changes, contracts. So you could would still be the football club with this, that, other assets wise. Yeah. I think the would.
There's a good shout here by JGK Productions that says, "Put it on Temple Park."
Oh
So
God!
Temple Park in South Shields,
Because
it's
that'll go
green
mad.
belt. Well, it's green belt unless it's for sporting.
No, because there was a thing. The rugby club tried to build on there.
Did they?
Because it's owned by the people. It was a gift to the people after the war. It's Temple Memorial.
I thought you were
Park.
allowed if it was a sporting venue.
Nah, there were open arms. Maybe they might be allowed, but the public didn't like it.
All right, okay.
So I would.
it's a bit far in it for them.
If
to
they're
have
not
to-
happy about Shields Rugby Club moving there, they're
Yeah.
definitely not going to be happy about
They wouldn't
Premier
have it
League
like-
Football Club moving.
But no, I really don't like. Where could we go? Can I put it anywhere in Gateshead? Because
Northumberland
Gateshead's all from hill.
Nah, you're either looking out like
towards the airport.
out towards the airport around Dinnington area and stuff like that, Ponteland, which would be ideal for the players. Or there was a conversation we had on Thursday was around the fact that the Rubens owned
Racecourse.
Gosforth Park Racecourse. There's obviously a lot of land on that plot.
Yeah.
Some of it is protected because there's woodland and all of that kind of thing. I can see again looking at where the women are playing at the minute, and this has been mentioned as well as out where you've got the Falcons and stuff like that around that Kingston Park Dinnington area, because there's a huge amount of green space there because that's kind of up until where we've built to.
Yeah.
Like Newcastle, that's where it kind of ends at the minute.
Does it not make more sense? And Graham Dougal said this as well, and he's agreed with me. Does not make more sense to move it out of like the city and close to the city and moving it to Northumberland?
But if you're moving it to Northumberland, it's
I'm talking about Corbridge. I'm talking about like a 20-30 minute drive from the city centre.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of rural out there, though, isn't it? It's all farmland and stuff like that.
Buy it off a farmer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Probably more around that Ponteland, Dinnington kind of area. It's not far from where you're suggesting, is it?
It's not that far old, no.
No.
Yeah.
But just where you think, like a lot of the players obviously live in Jesmond, Gosforth, Darras Hall, Ponteland, around there. That would seem the logical
Terrible area.
place for it to be
Terrible
to be
area.
placed.
Could you not get rid of the pitch and put Whitley Bay and just bang them on there?
Build on the beach.
Aye. Go for your legs. Run
But you've got the women play out in, I think it's probably classed as Kingston Park. I'm sure John Hall owns the land out there as well, so he probably owes her a favour or two.
He won't take that. Like,
I can't be big one after getting that fat thing in charge of her, like selling to him. But no, I agree. You know the area quite well, don't you? You know, you mentioned places I've never heard of. So I'm not the
The
greatest.
man of the world.
Yeah, the man of the world. Yeah. You're quite old though, so it helps. Yeah, so.
That's world's bestie.
apparently not.
You get younger every week, him.
So if people want to start firing questions towards our way, we've been going for 35 minutes there, so we'll go through some questions and obviously take it from there.
One thing I did notice today, just on the basis of what you said there, Bestie, about money and the state that we were in, the revenue, was there was been a lot of talk today about the revenue generation of the club, and there was a set of figures bandied around around where clubs were in 2007 versus where they are today, and we've increased our commercial revenue by 5%, the equivalent of £1 million
Since
2007. 2007.
So I would like to look at that again next year.
Yeah.
So I've
Maybe it's year after. Cause
Oh, did you see the thing that?
delayed, don't they?
Well, apparently now, I think Amanda Stevie's done an interview. I'm not sure where it might actually be on the club's account, where she mentions how the Premier League blocked immediate investment from the owners for Saudi Arabia, weren't allowed to invest in us. But apparently that's coming to an end in the next couple of weeks.
Was it? Yeah, temporary.
Yeah, very
restriction,
soon.
wasn't it? That was 18.
So they blocked it where owners couldn't reinvest. Or, you know, like every football club's done it. But as soon as Newcastle United had that takeover, they thought, oh, this shouldn't be allowed.
Like people have said, I'm not
Like
the first
Ashley did
person to- Yeah, he did it, but no one ever complained apart from us with the Sports Direct stuff.
And we complained because we knew we wouldn't be getting anything out of it.
Yeah.
That's the only
Minimal.
Was it 130 grand a year or something?
I mean, he
Was that
changed 157 grand or something.
Seven,
What
yeah.
I've seen, which is just nonsense. You know, when you're thinking, he also changed the name of the stadium, and what annoyed us with that one, well, of course it annoyed us, but he also said, oh, well, it's part of the portfolio.
Yeah.
So we're doing it now as if we're like sort of selling the idea out of another company to say, well, this is how it would look because I've just done it. I'm like, that's just bullshit. That.
It was. We changed it twice because it was Sports Direct at St James's Park at
Yes.
one point,
And then it
it
became
was
the
the
arena.
arena.
Wonga Arena.
Even worse, that. God.
The Wonga Dome.
It wasn't the Wonga Arena, was
the
it?
Wonga Dome.
But that was Wonga who,
Wonga put
when
it
they
back
became
at
the
St.
sponsor,
James.
said, I
Yeah.
will change it back.
Great PR.
Great PR, that's all
Yeah,
that was.
Fantastic. I mean, there was very, very little else
Sports
good about
Direct
Wonga.
Arena,
like.
man. What, man?
I know.
What?
But there again,
What's that
that's...
about?
that's
Wouldn't mind if it wasn't Sports Direct, if you were getting money on the back of it.
if they build a new stadium,
Yeah.
then it's likelihood it's going to be the Aramco or the whatever.
Emirates,
You've got
like
the
the
Emirates, you've got
Emirates,
the Etihad, you've
Oh,
got
I agree. And I
Scarborough, I've got the McCain Stadium. So the,
one of them.
you've got
Yeah.
a Kit Kat Crescent in York.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. I always
What's it
laugh at
called?
that. Kit
It
Kat.
was a Kit Kat Crescent.
No, it wasn't.
It was, yeah.
Oh,
It
wow.
was Bootham Crescent.
Bootham Crescent.
It was
Yeah.
Kit Kat Crescent. They've moved to a new place now in the retail development. So it's not. It's
Wasn't Leicester walk as crisps
Yes.
for a time as well?
Yeah, Borough was the BT selling.
Borough,
the other side.
that's right,
Just
yeah.
can't do this. Just new old stadiums.
You're right,
Born,
yeah.
no,
This is right
Brighton,
up your street,
Brighton,
this, mate.
Brighton,
Amex, obviously.
Bournemouth as well. Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
It's the
Vitality.
Yeah, because it's really the Dean Park, isn't it?
So it's very, very
coming.
Americanized, but it's been in English football for a long, long time now. We just mentioned Walkers there.
Yeah.
When was that? Mid-90s?
Oh yeah, Borough as well.
Yeah,
Borough's
yeah.
95.
Borough.
Yeah.
But that was a
Yeah.
new stadium, though, wasn't it? I think that's the difference.
Filbert
and
Street, wasn't it?
when you go and
That got
you're
changed to
physically
Walker.
moving
Oh, just Filbert Street.
from one ground where it's had that name, like Filbert Street, like Ayerson Park and stuff like that, you're moving to a new one where you haven't necessarily got that attachment to the name because it is a different stadium.
Yeah, I know what
It's
you
the
mean.
best
Whereas
ever
when
doing it.
it's
Yeah, I totally agree.
like Arsenal, obviously moving from Highbury to the Emirates, it would have been a bit weird saying, "Oh, it's the new Highbury."
Are
So
there any
it's a bit of a clean break, isn't it?
any established grounds? I'm trying to think of stadiums that have
done
done
it.
that. I mean, maybe it's
Wembley?
Dean Court, Wembley, or Wembley still. Oh, it's EE.
EE,
No,
yeah.
Leicester's.
Ah, but it's
No, Leicester's was
Leicester's was
Filbert
new one,
Street, and
yeah,
then
Filbert.
it kept that name until
Did it?
the left eye.
West Ham was the same as well.
Southampton was Friends Providence, the Friends Providence Stadium.
There must be
St.
one,
Mary.
right? So people that
Well,
are
Bournemouth was one.
listening.
Bournemouth still is Dean Court, and it became the
Yeah.
Vitality.
So
it has happened.
if you can think of any more, so
Did they
established
not
grounds
fully
that changed-
renovate it though?
You gonna finish?
I hate when you do that.
any
We're still having a conversation.
Buddies.
any established grounds that changed their name successfully, shall we say,
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say.
So how many we got so far?
Well, wasn't West Ham's the bowling,
bowling
and then it went
ground.
Upton Park?
It was
was the
always a
same?
bowling ground, really.
Yeah, but it was Upton Park. Everyone, I call it.
But it's like the San Siro is not really San Siro, it's the Giuseppe Meazza.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
It's just the same kind of thing where it's like a
But
cool
I
little-
think
So it's got two names,
It's
and
what
West
it's,
Ham's had
it's
two
what
names.
it's known as,
Yeah.
kind of thing, isn't it?
we're more looking at like a sponsor deal, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like a
Oh, I get what you're
company
saying.
coming in.
Yeah,
Like a company
Sorry,
coming
yeah.
in. Wigan, JJB Arena.
That was
Aye.
a new stadium as well, though, wasn't it? Because they moved from,
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I forget what the ground was called beforehand, Victoria. No,
Reebok, was that a new stadium?
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
That's when it really kicked off.
that
Was
was
in
a-
that
Pride
90s
Pride
period,
Park
wasn't
became
it?
the iPro. Did it?
Pride Park, yeah. But even Pride Park's quite a new stadium.
Mm.
It's not a baseball ground. We know
Aye,
it's one of the
that's
older
right,
ones, but
yeah,
it was,
yeah.
yeah. It's
Game
hard
of
to
show
think
wage, yeah, aren't we?
what- We are, right.
But I'll flip it back to us though. So, Decker, if we were to have some sort of, even if it's Saudi Arabian sponsorship that comes in and names the stadium after their company and their business, if they're going to invest that money, is that going to bother you that much?
No.
If we're winning things.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Don't get us wrong. I wouldn't be dancing on the streets. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, brilliant, because St James's Park is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's part of. I feel like it's me home. If it's part of us, like it's what we are. It's like, it sounds daft to say this, but it's a bit like maybe changing the colour of the stripes, or like, do you know what I
It'd
mean?
bother me, like.
It would bother
it's
us.
like part of the heritage,
I
isn't
would
it? It's part
accept
of the-
it more. I would accept it because of what you've said, because I'd understand that it's for the greater good.
Mhm.
That it would be.
It's a way of getting around with like sort of financial fair play and
Yes.
things like that.
and it would be invested in the right way. But I'd be lying if I said it didn't. It wouldn't hurt. Like
Even
Interesting.
then, if it's the Sports Direct thing, if you said Sports Direct Park, and he put hypothetically £30 million a season in, and would won a couple of cups, people wouldn't be as bothered. It was because of the connotations of Sports Direct. Same as the adverts that are left behind now. If he'd have been a great owner, and he just said, right, time to step down now. The Saudis are coming with all this money. People would have gone like, Sports Direct. So it's not, for me, it doesn't look great, but it's more or as much as a case of the implication of what Sports Direct kind of represents. Probably a better way of saying it, rather than Sports Direct itself. So I don't care. I think that you can complain about his managerial practices and stuff. Again, compare that to the Saudis. Maybe he's not the bad guy in that one, like, you know. But
good point. Like.
but yeah, kind of Sports Direct to me, it doesn't really bother us that much. I'm not for this stuff going, because it's like when Bruce went, when the coaching staff have gone today. Some of
Does
them,
it not make like not
It
dirty?
just leaves a
but
bad
it's
taste
just
in your mouth,
trashy, though.
doesn't
It's when it was all over the ground. To me, it was more like, God, he is actually running like one of his shops.
yeah, and I know what you mean. But if it was successful, if he was a good owner, it wouldn't.
I think what we need to
Success
understand, I think, yes, we would all be bothered if St James's Park was to change its name. But at the end of the day, we're always going to call it St James's Park, no matter what the name actually changes to. But I think football is a growing business, and to challenge for the likes of these titles, then it's something which we might have to accept.
I don't think they'll do it though. I don't think Amanda would do it.
I'd be
I don't.
disappointed if they did it
Yeah.
with the amount of financial backing that they have behind them.
I just think
because they
she
don't need
gets it, and I
Yeah.
think she'll think, God, this could be a massive scar or mark on Watenya so early on or whatever to change the name. I'm not saying that they wouldn't do like something at St James's Park or. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'd be all right with that
That's
if
what
it
I
was
mean,
like
yeah.
Aramco at St James's
That's what I
Park,
think they'll do.
Sports
something
Direct
like
at St
that.
James's Park.
Where you still, because what really wound me up was we, as you just said, Chris, we all still called it St James Park, but
St James.
every time it
Park.
was on Match of the Day, it was on Sky Sports, it was always Sports Direct Arena,
Yeah.
Sports
FIFA.
Direct, Sports Direct,
FIFA.
Sports
Yeah,
Direct.
I know,
And it took them a couple of years to change that back as well. I've got a few. Martin Tyler did it on purpose.
Yeah.
What about like if they name it after like a local institution like the Cozy Joe's Arena or
Best.
the old,
Best.
the old
Old George.
We're getting back onto the Greg's Arena.
What, Strawberry Arena? The Strawberry Park.
Do you know what? Do you know the whole Sports
Strawberry
Direct
Fields?
thing? Just because we're talking about Sports
yes.
Direct, I think when they're changing the name of stadium, is that not when they put the massive Sports Direct thing on the roof as well, and
Around that time,
side by
yeah.
side
On the
Newcastle
side.
United?
You know
thing.
what- you know what it
Put
is?
them
Thing on the
boards, the
Gallowgate.
boards on the Gallowgate,
boards-
and all
Do
that.
you know what really pisses us off? And it looks like a Turkish shop that's going to sell the likes of fake shirts. The players coming out from the changing room.
It's
awful,
It's,
mate.
it's
It's
absolutely horrendous when they're coming out the tunnel, and you've got the neon Sports Directs down the side.
It's
It looks like the
horrific.
entrance to a tacky strip club.
It really does, and that's the problem. Is I'm a great believer in less is more. I'm a great believer in that in anything really, music out. Like, but My God, I mean, he was any inch that he could get it on. I slap one there, slap one there, slap one there.
I'm very surprised they never made the training kits.
Well,
It
it made
did?
Did they?
In fairness,
Yeah,
I've
it did.
got one of the coats now.
The,
The Europa League one, the neon,
Yeah.
like the
Oh.
neon colour
Yeah,
one.
the
never
patch. That's
noticed
one of
that.
the reasons I never got them because they
Yeah.
had a little patch. Right.
Did they?
True. Honestly, I bought it because I really liked the training jacket. And on the site when I bought it, it was the way it was facing was like that way. It was Puma.
Yeah.
And then when it came to open up the pack, it had Sports Direct on the other side. I was like, oh my
never
God,
knew
I
that.
couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But I saw the other one that I hate as well is when like the players come in across where you'd go into the big
The
glass
reception.
building. The reception,
Yeah.
that's a good word. It's right across there.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That's
that
like
one.
a shop
That looks
entrance.
like he's took it off one of his
Yeah.
shops and stuck it in on the glass entrance.
It
to St.
Surely
James's
that's,
Park.
surely that's going to be one of the first ones to go though, because that's not like it's in a public facing area, but it's not on telly.
I would have took
Ever.
that down by now.
Yeah.
Well, they're just not allowed. But I agree that I think Amanda will take it off herself.
It'll be in
100%.
his that agreement that way, because I mean we had this discussion on the pod when it was announced that he was going to start paying for the sponsorship and stuff like that, and it went in. We sat here and said he's put that in there and right that
There
that's
you
got
go.
to be up for a limit
clause.
Which I think we'll sat here and accepted, to
Yeah.
be fair, that if it meant him pissing
Oh
off.
God, I'd rather
Yeah.
that was the case than he was here. And it was,
I'm just
oh, yeah.
surprised that it's apparently only up until the end of this year or the end of this month or whatever, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
I've been
until
there on that,
the end of the season.
Amanda Staveley has mentioned something to do with 2 weeks or so.
2
hasn't
weeks,
she?
yeah.
I'll tell you what I would like to change, and people have, you know how
Nets.
we've got the
Definitely
nets,
nets.
the seats.
Definitely.
You know how they've got the Sports Direct.
Eddie's already on the
Newcastle
case.
United Sports Direct on the top of the East Stand.
Change
Yeah.
the font.
The font.
Yeah.
It's the Sports.
It's in italics, isn't it?
I
You
don't
don't
like that.
the way Newcastle is.
And also, remember when we used to have the badge on the top of the Leazes?
Yes,
Back on, put one of
Yes.
them on a Gallagher, please.
totally agree. Yes,
I used
in
to
the
love
middle.
that.
Yes, I did.
Obviously,
as
the
well.
Leazes it's up there now. You couldn't really.
Yeah, of
on top of
course.
the Gallagher, right in the middle. Bang.
Brilliant.
Do you know what else was should have been off?
John Joe Shelby.
The screen, the big screen. What's the point of the big
can't
screen?
see
Nobody
it.
can
I've never
see it.
seen it. Oh, no, I seen it. I saw it when they played Northampton in the League Cup. When
Nobody can see it.
Debut. Oh, no, it's
It's weird that. Yeah.
I
a
don't
terrible
understand why it's
place,
there.
I remember the game was delayed
'Cause we had to-
I remember the first day it was against Leicester,
Leicester.
and it got delayed because it moved
We had,
It got delayed.
we had a great day that day, didn't we?
The game got delayed, and I was still late
in overtime scores.
because the Metros
Thank
won out
God,
there, so I had to get a replacement from Heworth. I was like, I turned up at half time. I was even
It was a great. The sun was shining. It was boiling that day.
It was
the bus
brilliant.
driver wasn't going to take because I had a magpie mover, and the bus driver goes, "Oh mate, I can't take that because it's got to be either 2 hours before the game or 2 hours after the game."
You
It
good
was,
friend.
it was 20 past 3, so technically the game had started.
Oh,
I was like, "Oh mate, it's been delayed." Look on Twitter. I showed him that I guess on it. I thought, "You job."
as if anyone was going to get on the bus when there's that many people on it.
There's a question. Yeah, why did the badge get taken now?
I think it was when they built the new
extended the seat,
Melbourne.
You think they'd put it back? Wouldn't you? Put it back somewhere.
Somewhere I agree.
We
with
found
you.
the gates.
Stick it on the other end.
I'm
Stick it on the Gallagher.
certain that if I remember right, that was one that was found in like I'm not saying it got picked up, but it was in a skip or something. years
Yeah,
ago.
I think I
It
remember
was
that.
just
as well.
lying there.
It's like the gates. The gates
was,
are like
yeah.
towards the back end of the reception
Oh,
now. They were
we
just like
went and seen them the other
grass
didn't we?
overgrown them.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but no, that they should definitely bring that back.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. Right in the middle of that Gallagher. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. You get 3 points for that alone, man. That's
It'll
what I mean.
be the reason they won't do it is because you can't see it.
See what?
Like on camera. You
Yeah.
never
Well,
see
that's
it.
funny
do you?
how every
So-
picture I can see of War Flags has got Sports Direct plastered in my face. So
but that's when you're taking a picture of that when it's on TV. I mean, that's why obviously the East Stand and stuff like that's got everything all over it because a lot of that you get picked up on from the obviously with the cameras being in the mill bin.
no, I
Yeah,
understand,
but
but
the likes of the Sky Sports lot sit at that side of the ground, so like their backdrop would be
Aye,
Gallagher.
like if
Yeah.
they're in the studio behind
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
so you're saying they wouldn't put the Newcastle United logo on the Gallagher in the middle because the cameras wouldn't see it.
No, I'm saying Ashley wouldn't because it's not giving him. I know he had
But he's got
the
Sports
Puma
Direct
one was up there.
He's
The
got- he
Castor
had
ones are
Sports
there as
Direct
well. Now,
on
aren't
top of the Gallagher, man. Written.
they? Aye, but that was because for aerial photos and stuff like that.
Three-
And when you're
three
on
weeks,
a
3
plane,
months or something.
Where would
Yeah.
you stand then? We've had the discussion a little bit over stadium naming rights. What about the 3 naming the stands?
Oh, no. There's
Told
only
you.
one for me. There's only
get
one
that
for me.
Bobby Rob. Get his stand is the Bobby Robson stand.
No, I mean,
get it done.
Like, mate,
Insane.
let's say
Insane.
Mr. Robinson isn't going to pay like £4 million a year. Oh, well, that's
Oh, sponsored. No,
Yeah.
Is it the East Stand? The East Stand must have been changed the most.
Well, I know the Gallagher was the Newcastle Brown stand, wasn't it, for a little while? East Stand.
East Stand's
I've
been
never
called-
known the East Stand.
It's not
Yeah,
been a
Bobby
couple
Robson
of
stand.
Mark will know.
You wouldn't want to call it the Bobby
I did
Robson
a
stand.
Roy Keane there. I went, really? I did literally did a Roy Keane.
The East Stand, has the East Stand gone by any other names?
Not that I'm aware of.
Uh,
The popular was Milburn, wasn't it?
no, it was
No,
because
that
it was the
was that
main,
not the East?
main stand.
You got Milburn, Sir John Hall,
Was
Gallagher,
Milburn.
and East. It's East.
Yeah, the
Exhibition
exhibition was the Leazes.
was the Brown Ale was the
Might call it the Middle East
No,
stand.
I think it's always been the East stand.
So you're telling me though, you wouldn't call it the Kevin Keegan stand?
Absolutely not. He's still alive. We've already had this discussion.
John Hall's still alive?
Better change that name then.
Yeah,
But
that was in recognition of what he'd done in him leaving, wasn't it? Because he essentially paid for the stand.
And Kevin
So
Keegan,
100%
what did Kevin Keegan do?
that his stand needs to be called the Bobby Robson stand.
Nonsense.
His stand wasn't.
And I love Bobby Robson. I feel like I'm bashing there. I'm not. But no way. No, he's got a statue. It's wonderful. He deserves it. Kevin Keegan did more for the football club.
So
Sorry,
would you
man.
rather?
Not having that, like.
Would you rather Kevin Keegan? Dagger, would you rather Kevin Keegan get a statue or stand?
Both? No, but if
No, you
I
can't.
choose
Bobby's
one-
only allowed one.
Oh, a stand every day of the week.
All right, okay.
Every day of the week. It's Kevin Keegan's stand. I'm telling you, he did more. Bobby Robson came in when it was bad. Don't get me wrong, he did. But Kevin
Relegation
Keegan
zone, want to keep
saved one.
Robson
What
came
about bottom of the league when Bobby Robson came in?
Well, bottom of-
second division when
That's what I was going to say. Bottom of League Two, man.
Bottom of a lower league. Keegan did more for it than Robson.
Oh.
Robson was brilliant. Don't get us wrong. Robson was like I loved him being there,
Yes, 100%.
and I was heartbroken the way it turned out. But Keegan did more. Not saying Keegan was a better manager than Robson, but Keegan did more for Newcastle than Robson did.
Bobby Robson wouldn't have managed this football club if it wasn't for Kevin Keegan. I'm telling you that now. It's what he did. Got him in a position.
I'm not saying he didn't to do good things for the club, but I 100% would have the stand named after Bobby Robson before Keegan.
Wow.
The fact that like
Gone down in my
why
estimation,
are you memorializing somebody that's still alive?
Alex Ferguson's got one at Old Trafford, and
Well,
that's all right.
I didn't choose that.
He's alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
Busby
Why have
did.
you got to be dead? Like, what's his business with him being dead?
Yeah.
Why have we got to die?
Because it's a respect and a memorial type of thing.
Well,
isn't it?
respect him when he's alive. Let him come and open the stand. Let him sit there. Well, you're not sitting there, would he? But I mean, you know what I mean? Let him come over, cut the ribbon. I'm the best in the world. Keegan stand on the sit. Well, you wouldn't do that because you've got United's there. So that's one thing you couldn't do. Like Alex Ferguson stand actually has it written.
Yeah,
We couldn't do that because that's when Newcastle United's written, in fairness, right?
yeah.
Like, so we couldn't do that. I don't believe. But anyway,
You'd stick it on the back.
he still has to. He totally deserves that stand. Like, it's doing now, man.
Well, are you saying that Bobby Robson doesn't deserve it though?
Could you just put two crowns either side in Newcastle?
Oh,
United?
don't say it like that because that makes it sound ambitious.
Well, no, but that's what you're saying.
But I would say
the other way,
Keegan,
aren't you?
I believe Keegan deserves it more. And Bobby Robson's already got a lovely statue, a beautiful statue in a great position, great place.
It is a great
It
statue.
is a good statue.
he's
I'm
got-
not a statue mountain.
It's a great
It really is, and he's got what he thoroughly deserves. It's beautiful, actually. But I think Keegan deserves a stand. Like Alan Coleman, you'll be watching. He'll agree with us.
Where do I stand on when does Eddie Howe get his throw his
When
hand
he,
in the
when,
ring?
he, when he wins with when he wins with the league
Well, Robson and
or
Keegan
the cup.
for all they're both great managers. Keegan won the second division, but the one now did this. So does Eddie they'll finish second a couple of times and we're going, hey, Eddie Howe's got a shout here, man. Lads.
So, people that are
Potentially.
watching, if you would like to have your say in this one, who deserves the stand? So the East stand named after them. Would it be Kevin Keegan or Sir Bobby Robson?
Has got to be the East stand.
It has to be the East
Has to
stand.
be. Really,
Shearer,
doesn't it?
is
That's
Shearer
the
coming
only-
because if Jackie Milburn's got a
Got a
stand.
statue?
Jackie Milburn's got both.
But again,
We just put that on the
Jackie
East stand.
Milburn's dead. Alan Shearer's not. He's still
Was
alive.
Milburn dead when the Milburn?
But why
stand
does
was
it have to be dead? This is what
Yeah,
why
yeah.
does it have to be
He died
dead?
in- I know he died in
Because
88,
like
but
you, like why are you remembering that somebody that's still alive? Because they
it's
can
not.
still
I wouldn't say
I don't
remembering
know.
as much as it is kind of an act of recognition rather than
I'm
remembrance.
going to have a check to your stand.
No,
I thought you were borderline there. saying
I
to
thought
put
he was
Keegan
thinking
in.
about it. He was thinking about it.
I wasn't
about
thinking
that,
about it.
You were.
Let's
You're
change the
struggling.
Gallowgate.
Absolutely.
You could
No,
rename.
but maybe if
That should change his report to check to it.
no, but like they could have like a I don't know. This might already be a thing.
Probably not,
But
Mark.
should like a memorial plaque or something like that for like Czech Tiote, Gary Speed.
I know Bob Moncur's got a plaque, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Could we call it rename Rosette after Czech Tiote? Or like the referee's yellow card.
I mean, in fairness,
Stick a plaque in the top corner of the
Oh, I know.
Gallowgate net, like where he put that goal against.
Is that why he
Arsenal.
killed that pigeon? Or that little
Still
bit in
there.
the pitch that he proper belted after he had a free kick
Yeah.
against him that time.
To be fair, most shouts are for Kevin Keegan. Like,
get up there, lad.
yeah,
Okay, man, he's the best, man. He's the best I've ever had.
yeah.
Well, you know.
So shout saying Joe Harvey.
Yeah,
Should be
Joe
getting
Harvey.
a mention.
Joe
Harvey's got a
I'm
plaque.
Some,
He's
no,
got
I
a
know what
plaque,
I'm,
but it's
yeah,
not
I think it's
very-
Joe Harvey I'm thinking of actually.
It's not enough for what he achieved.
I don't think we'll have many. We don't have many heroes, do we? Let's be fair. I mean, there's not many people that you could say. I think Gary Speed deserves something. I do. I generally
We
do.
have more cult
Um,
heroes than actual
yes,
legends.
that's-
on the
I
football
think
club.
from
That's a
our
good
generation, I mean, you go back, Stan Seymour, Colin Veach.
I think James Perch is as best as we're getting.
Robledo?
Sometimes these days.
George Robledo should have something.
When he dies, we'll have a stand after
Is
him
he
as
still
well.
alive?
No, don't think. Well, like I don't think so.
So there's a question then. So if Keegan died, that better never happen. But if he did,
Well, it will.
it's just a joke, Mark. God almighty. Jesus. If he died, would you say he deserves one more than Bobby?
It would be a tougher decision, yeah.
Well, just because he's dead.
Yeah, because
How are you,
it's
Kevin?
like-
How are you, Kevin? Pop it.
because you can still, I don't know, because you can still, like, it's more of a remembrance thing, like that you're honouring him in his memory.
I don't think it's a remembrance thing. I think it's an appreciation thing.
Yeah, like Keegan.
But you can still appreciate Kevin Keegan because he's still here.
So you think Shearer
He's still
deserves a
alive?
statue then because he's still alive? Does Shearer not
No,
deserve a
because
statue?
he's not playing now, is he?
He's not dead.
He's not
though, is
dead.
No, I know. But he's that's there in recognition of the fact that that he's the
recognition.
leading goal scorer. And so,
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's not a stand, is it? Stand is something quite significant, isn't it?
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
you
the
look.
statue
A statue is I don't want to say a token because it's not token, but it is a more of a it's a lesser.
It's an appreciation thing.
Yeah.
It is. No matter what, whether it's a stand, a
I think having a statue is a
plaque.
lesser recognition than having a stand in a stadium named after you.
What about the airport?
Sir Bobby Robson
We'll
Airport.
call it the Sir Bobby
We've
Robson
got the
Airport
John Lennon Airport in London
That's
and Liverpool.
in Liverpool.
Aye, and
Robin Hood in Nottingham.
Nottingham. Aye, was he even real?
Who knows?
But can you imagine with Keegan? I know I get your argument.
The
about-
Alan Barnes
about Keegan-
Airport.
Alan Barnes Airport.
Some Gateshead and he's still alive.
About Keegan being like, well, can you imagine Keegan? And I don't agree with you, but I'll get it. But like, can you imagine Keegan's kind of story at Newcastle coming in the? Well, his dad was a Geordie, wasn't he? Coming in the 80s, leaving a helicopter. Back in the 90s, saved the club. Played a massive part in saving the club. Got him into Europe a couple of times.
I'm well aware of the history of him. I was there. I experienced it.
Came back in 2007. Had to leave under a cloud because of the court case he had. Actually, it would be this lush redemptive arc if he came out and said, right, well, Kevin, my name and this after you. Gallowgateshots.
So
100%, and I 100% agree. Give him a statue.
Is it because
Give
he's
him a
alive?
statue.
Is that the issue? Is because he's alive, isn't it?
That's the main
But
thing.
can you
for me,
imagine
yeah.
Kevin Keegan come back to Newcastle, right, Kevin? It's been 15 years. Well, it's been 14, really. We know it's in the future. It's been X amount of years since this happened with the Dennis Wise, Jeff Terry, Cisco, all that shit. We really want to recognise you. He would be buzzing his little tits off, bless him. He'd love that. Like, surely that's got to be worthwhile doing whilst he's like instead of going, oh, Kevin's dead. But by the way, Mrs. Keegan.
No, 100%.
Where does
Look,
Kevin Keegan get the satisfaction or the...
That's
100%.
Yes.
Would say give him a statue, give him a suite.
You kind of fuck
Give him
a sweet, what, like a fucking tree moment?
Boiled
A
sweet.
suite,
There's a word that's...
like the Bobby Monk,
So I
stuff
get like a
like
straight piece of
that.
sweet.
Like,
What do you want?
name an area in the stands after him, like we've got, like one of the corporate areas.
Oh,
the
Have the
COVID test
Kevin
facility.
Keegan suite or whatever. Like you can call it something sexy.
The head over heels sweet.
and then and have a statue at the Gallowgate end or something like that.
I would love
100%.
I would
Give
love
him them.
Right, so
When he dies, then we can revisit
Jesus,
that.
have to die. I'm sorry about this, but what Bessie said there, though, the point which I think is great about, like, surely Kevin Keegan would want to be part of that and experience. God, they've named this. Like, why do it when he's not here? He can't say it.
No, but would he not appreciate the statue and having the suite named after
Well, you
him?
just said it's almost a token thing. A statue.
I didn't know. I didn't
come
say it was
on.
a
Right,
token
so-
thing.
so Man United have the Sir Alex Ferguson
I
stand.
don't care about Man United.
Liverpool,
They named
Have
that stand
the-
after him is because he's the greatest, most successful manager that they had.
Kevin Keegan's ours.
He's not.
Well,
He's not.
If you're going to,
He's not.
Since in 2 generations he is.
Yeah, but he's not. He's Alex Ferguson is. That's factual. Kevin Keegan isn't ours. As much as we love him and want to be and appreciate him, he's not our best manager of all time.
Who is?
Yeah, I've said it.
Who is?
Well, in my opinion, it's somebody else. But
Bobby Robson,
that's-
because he's
it's-
dead.
No.
But you're going to say Bobby Robson there?
Jack
Yeah,
Charlton's dead.
Bobby Robson's my favourite manager, 100%.
No, you might be favourite,
But he's not. You're saying he's. Say it. You want to say it before I lose it?
but is he the most successful?
Is he the best? Is he the
Is
most?
he more successful? No. What's he won?
But you've just
Nothing.
But you've just said Kevin Keegan. You said Kevin Keegan wasn't the most successful manager. Then you went on to say
Joe
that-
Harvey was. Joe Harvey's
Right,
the
but
last
you're
one
saying
that
Bobby
won.
Robson, yeah.
Wouldn't say anything. No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying most successful. I'm saying he's my favourite manager.
But no,
I
that wasn't the question.
prefer
though.
Robson
Successful,
over Keegan.
I think you're picking your favourite manager.
No.
So if Keegan had died and Robson was alive, what would you say?
Keegan?
Really? You would have? Okay, all right. I think he'd still say Robson, to be honest with you. I think it's because he's your favourite. I think that's what it is. And I love Bobby Robson. I feel like I'm bashing him here.
I love Kevin Keegan. There's not a massive gap in the scales of how much I love them.
Just death.
And you actually seeing Keegan go in the helicopter and leave as well.
I was only like,
but surely these moments stay with you. He was 25,
4 or 5 or something.
But I'm feeling we've gone on for too long.
Sorry, so apologise.
I'm feeling right. We'll have 1 or 2 more questions. We've been going for an hour, so 1 or 2 more. Not about stands and statues.
You agreed with me the other week.
About what?
We sat around this table and said, "What's the first thing that you should do?" And I said, "Name that you stand after Bobby Robson." You went, "That's a hell of a shout."
It is a shout.
Well, there you are. And now you're backtracking.
But then he got a better shout.
Wants a better shout.
Yeah, he got a better shout.
Yeah.
10-0 England.
Yeah, it is 10-0. I meant to say that. Yeah, it is 10-0.
Waste of time.
Is it an unwritten rule where you're not supposed to hit double figures?
But I think I was there on Friday and they got 5 before half time and I thought, we'll go.
It was shite setting off.
Well, the way shite just did now. They thought, well, this is one. There's no point. Brazil again, not Germany against Brazil in the 2014 semi-final when they scored like 5 goals in 10 minutes or something. And then I thought, well, I'm party time, 13-14-0, this stopped.
13.
Right, so we'll end it on this one. Bessie, I'll come straight to you.
Okay.
Standing in the stadium.
Yep.
Where does it go? Safe standing.
Where does it go? Strawberry corner, please.
You stand anyway?
Well, I do. For me, I'd have the whole stadium standing. Maybe have a couple of seats for the bands and the old timers. Literally 2.
Alzheimer's, I say.
Alzheimer's. Sorry. The kids with Alzheimer's.
I thought you said Alzheimer's.
I'd do the whole Gallowgate me like.
Gallowgate definitely.
And the Leasers, if you could. But
what about the Bobby Robson?
Nah, you've got to keep that for the old timers.
Right,
it's got a lovely ring to that, hasn't it? The Bobby Robson stand.
Where you putting Gallowgate as well? Has to be goal.
I think Gallowgate, yeah.
Gallowgate
has to be goals.
Yeah.
Imagine it. It'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, for score.
I had this conversation on Twitter the other week.
If I could get on that end of the field.
Because it was when the announcement was made from the Premier League that they'd formally granted the permission. And there was a few people saying, well, you can guarantee that there'd be people that said, no, I don't want to stand there because that's my seat. I've always sat there and stuff like that.
I've got mates who are like our age who don't like standing football. My big prefer to sit down, like, and I just don't get it. Like
it all depends where you're on the ground, doesn't it? Really.
That's why I love away days. Is one of the main reasons because you stand. Honestly, swear it's one of the reasons.
I love standing. It's just better. The atmosphere is better. I just prefer it.
Yep.
I much prefer it.
I'd love it.
So I agree. Like, so a point I've got here. Sorry about that. Is I agree the Gallowgate or the Strawberry Corner or whatever has to be. I think it has to be the Gallowgate. But what happens if they said, right, we're going to have this particular block, like them just say it, and you're sitting there and you don't want to stand? Like, surely it's your seat, right?
Well,
like,
it's not.
This was the end of the season. They can't change it.
Oh, so then at the end of the season, they say, by the way, next season
it's going to be standing. Long ago, they shifted.
We did it the level 7. We've done it a number of times over the years. Did it with the bonds, the bonds when you could buy your bond for your seat and you got your name on it.
Would have been the case
when we're building the stands, they moved everybody around.
Like Daniel Craig and Sean Connery and
I was thinking the same.
George Lazenby.
No, the bonds to buy you. It was get your name on your seat.
So when the Premier League rules came in, where away fans had to be pitch side, that would make it. If we could have obviously changed that for the health and safety reasons, we weren't allowed to do that. Yeah, it would have been forcing fans out of their seats then as well. So it'll be done. Like it can be done. Of course
so if them say next year it's standing only whatever, then if you come to renew your season ticket and you're sitting in that area, later or lump it, or just don't come.
Do you know what it is?
They'll give you an alt. I think this is like
kind of give an alternative.
They would. I can't see them just doing that and saying, right, we're going to do that and put this to safe standing, because looking at the owners, the way that they've came in, they'd do like a bit of a fan survey, wouldn't they? They're going to say, right, people in this area.
I thought they would just swap involved at the very least.
You would just swap, wouldn't you? I thought so. The Gallowgate, you would say, right, we're going to do these 500 seats. I'm just saying, right, 500 seats, and them say there's 300 of them don't want to, but there's 300 in everywhere else in the Gallowgate that want to stand. So you would just swap. Like you'll be sitting in a different area of the Gallowgate.
Season tickets holder, so there's already like an allocated seat that someone's leaving that you could move into.
Yes,
but you're still then going to get the player. Oh well, my seat in the Gallowgate it's better because it's lower down. It's in the middle. I don't want to sit in the corner of the Leasers, and you're always going to get that, aren't you?
With the safe standing, it's great when your football team's good, but when you're shite, it's a long time to be on your feet.
Well, you can still
watching.
sit down.
They've still got the chairs
full
there.
folding
haven't they?
seats.
Yeah.
I love Palace have got one. Yeah. Seems to be
Spurs
like
have got it. Man
bottom
United's
left,
got
I
it.
feel as if they just go mental all the time.
Yeah.
And you would hope that they would it's never going to go away. That
It's
is it?
not.
That they would. It's the one thing Bruce has left on with that. Isn't
Hope.
it? Hope.
That's probably the best thing, really.
yeah.
His legacy.
Did you not notice in
stand up for him.
Alan Shearer's overlap? He was saying it as well.
I hope. I kept saying
Shearer,
hope.
Yeah,
as
he
well.
was,
kept
wasn't he?
saying it.
And every time he said it, I was like, "Oh, you're saying hope there."
Yeah.
I thought that.
Oh no, he does.
There's no hope.
He's got a very similar. There's a really specific kind
Bruce
of
twang.
variation of the Geordie accent that ex-footballers get. Chris Waddle's got it a little bit as
It's
well.
that Northwest
Gascoigne's got it.
BBC and ITV
Well,
voice in it.
The drink's done that.
Yeah,
I think.
no, I don't know if it's a BBC training or what, but loads of them.
Yeah.
But they leave the game, they become like it's the Centigob thing. Like,
There's no hope.
Mm.
He said it low Shearer on there, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he does,
No
aye.
hope.
Right. Anything else to add before we sign out tonight? Anything
really-
burning in you?
I was thinking,
Brains.
Christ, I've not paid any attention to Newcastle like a week. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, but
I'm just really looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, that's great.
Saturday,
Yeah.
first game with Eddie.
Is there any other questions?
Just a comment there from Mel Granite saying this has been the weirdest fucking episode.
Yeah, probably has, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's because we haven't had anything actually to talk about because we did 27 podcasts last week. Hello?
Who's she like?
Is that Amanda in the corner?
So basically, what we've done is just lent on Mark for some really hot takes. He's provided.
Yeah, as usual. You've shockingly provided again, Mark.
I stand by my Bobby Robson stand. See what I did there?
Don't know. No one else will have this benefit, but it looks like Les Ferdinand's like nodding that Castor ball onto Shearer from where I am. But Keegan on the sideline having a look and Batty just behind him in case. I don't know who's on your side, Mark.
John Beresford, I think.
Bez. He
Yeah,
like
it's
getting
Beresford,
forward with
yeah.
Bez, I tell you.
Yeah.
Shearer and Bez.
So yeah, we'll sign out. We won't do any predictions because we'll be doing more content during the week as well. So we'll cover that then. Actually, there's plans for the Twitch channel from Scott Tomlinson. Yes, so Adam done a little teaser thing on Twitch the other night on FIFA just to see how it would work with the likes of layout and things like that. He had, I think it was like 18 people watching him, and it was just like a trial run. So
I watched. He
hopefully,
was terrible.
he was absolutely
Well,
horrendous.
He was
you were
awful.
bad.
Horrendous. He must have had that on world class. Easy, must have.
Legendary, maybe.
Maybe because he was getting battered 3-0 at half time.
It's hard to defend on it, though.
By
It's
Liverpool.
hard to defend.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll Decker, hopefully you'll be doing Football Manager on it.
Yeah, I have to think about that. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it. I want to do it, but
Football Manager's a hard one to do like that because it's because of the net. You're kind of going.
I'm not doing anything.
Thinking,
Do you know, but I mean,
he's got 14
it'll look
players.
beautiful. There'll be no other Football Manager game looks as good as mine. But I'll just be sitting there just going like, click, click. I just don't know what to say. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
well,
Like,
people are
I've got a
like,
nice picture of Amanda on that on the screen and stuff. I
people
wanna
are
see that.
commenting in as well at the same time, so you
Yeah.
can like hold the conversation with people as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that.
I
will-
see. I like playing it in bed and that, man. And obviously, I'm gonna have to get up and like I can't be like in my kegs and not playing that when I'm on there, can I?
You can as long as you put a t-shirt on.
You could get back in your sex swing chair.
That's always a shout. Yeah. That's always
Yeah.
a shout.
But yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. Once again, the link for the raffle to win that football, which is at the very front of the desk there, that is in the description now. It took a while to get it on there, but it is in the description now. So I think there's been a few tickets sold already at night there. So
Excellent.
if you missed it, if you've tuned in late, that football is up for grabs. It's £5 a ticket. We'll be drawing it on the 29th of this month, live on the Always Smiling Faces podcast. It's been a pleasure, boys.
Thanks.
It's been a really positive one.
Well,
Other than when he
apart from
went
getting on
through it.
asking for Kevin Keegan to be dead, like.
Yeah, well, that was the only negative, yeah. But it was positive because there's no defeat. Eddie Howe's great. The Steves have gone. Everything's
Yeah.
great. Everything's going great. Let's be happy.
Let's hope next Monday's is just as positive.
It could be a shocking one, mine. Yeah.
Right. Thanks, everybody. See you later. Buy your raffle ticket. Ta-ra.
Thank you very much.